it was tight. I needed need some help there. Gee, now still.
Hi, Betty Heel.
You're doing it outside.
Yeah. Let me try 6.
It went a lot easier than yesterday.
I feel like I can probably got the bigger one in. Good tie.
When she came to us, we knew she had a, well, when we did the x-rays, we knew she had a microchip, but we don't know what her number is, so Jamie's trying to read it.
Is that, you just wave it, or you gotta hold it down? It was in between her shoulder blades.
Yeah, Tara, that was like a half a size smaller today, so that went in much easier.
That's good. You saw it on X-ray?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does it read every brand?
This one should, right?
I'll get another one.
Okay.
And the lucky winning number is...
What is that? 0. Clippers.
Francis, I don't know if they caught that right yet or not. We were looking on the explore.org chat room today to see, but we were looking from our phones, and Jamie's phone screen is all broken.
I'm sorry about your fur.
This is her good leg, and she's shaving it to put in a catheter. Well, she'll have matching once we do the other side.
It's a Serval. They're from Africa.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah.
Wow. It's so close.
Francis said it looks like the trap is closed and on the...
Yeah, I don't think it's in there though.
Oh.
Couldn't see him on the camera.
When they go out to feed her today, they'll check the trap. We got people here from Jupiter, Florida, and Rwanda, and Australia. Give us a shout out. Where are you guys from? Ohio, North Carolina?
Kitty, that's a
There's
bus.
pressure.
I sent a picture to people to my mom, and my mom was like, "What are you doing close to that?"
She's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot more puffy today.
Is it?
Oh, I lost my fat piece of cake.
What do you need? A big one?
That white thing was to read her microchip. When she came here, she had already been microchipped by a previous owner, but we didn't know what the number was because he died.
It just must have been stuck somewhere. It's on the bottom of my shoe.
Yep.
Hi, Nat from Tasmania. Mary from Fort Myers, Matthew from Palm Harbor, Stacy from South Carolina, Rachio from Texas, Jennifer from Iowa, Mary from Philadelphia, Hattie from Pennsylvania, Penny from Australia, Danielle Miller. They're talking about the Bobcat Rehab camera on explore.org. We do Bobcat Rehab and release, and there is a rat in the cage that is too big for the kitten that we're training, and so we're trying to catch it. So they've set a humane trap in there. It just catches him in a box. It won't hurt him. Hey, Elsie from Scotland. Cipriano, she broke her leg, this left leg here. You see how puffy it is. And so today he's going to put a plate in it to stabilize it. You can't just put a cast on these guys because they'll just chew it off and eat it, and then you have to remove it surgically. Hi, Libby. Nealander, we don't know how she hurt her leg, but she's only 6 years old, so she's very athletic, and she chases birds and squirrels all around her enclosure all the time, so she may have just jumped and landed wrong. These guys can jump 12 feet straight up.
That's right. She's super tight.
Dominique, Alabama is not the worst state.
She had a real dry tongue yesterday at the water to get it to read. You ready to shake the other foot? Do you want to flip her?
Yeah, we can flip her.
Okay, they're going to turn her over.
You do it under or
Under. Or you guys flip and I'll disconnect. Go ahead.
right up here?
Kathy, can you tell me
Yeah.
what kind of a device you're using that you can't hear? The black thing on her leg is like a little sock to hold the catheter in. Morning, Helena. Jim, he said it's going to be about 8 weeks in the cat hospital, so she is not going to like that, but we got to keep her really still until it heals. Thank you, Christine. And Wendy's correct. I can't be yelling while they're trying to work. Is she holding her breath?
She's breathing. Crunchy.
Yeah. Yeah, much better with some saline.
Just has a dry tongue.
Yeah.
What else were you doing out in that cage that you have a dry tongue?
Her legs are even skinnier.
Yeah.
Brooke, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. And Dominique, this is an iPhone 6 Plus on a Osmo mobile stand to take out the shakiness. Thank you, Libby. I don't think they put the gel in her eyes yet. Now they are. Jean Shaw, this is a serval, an African serval. lot leggier and a little bit heavier than a bobcat. Susan, we don't know how she broke it. Their enclosures are about 1,200 square feet of space, and that has trees and bushes, and these guys can jump 12 feet, so 12 feet straight up. So it could be she was chasing a bird or a squirrel or something. She's quite the huntress and could have hurt her leg either sticking it out of the wire or falling out of the tree or landing on the den or any number of ways that she could have hurt it. She has a soft earthen floor in her cage, but still bad angle could cause that break. Well, thank you for visiting, Holly.
Yeah. There's not a lot of like the vet stuff that bothers me with the cats, but feeling their broken bones just
Dr. Borstein,
Yeah.
how far down do you want me to shave? Just like, is this far enough? Because it's pretty distal. And do you want me to tape right here?
Yeah, I would try and just shave to there and then tape over. Because
Like
I
right
need
here?
to get as far distal as possible.
And what does distal mean?
Towards the toes.
What does BAR stand for? I'm seeing that on all your reports lately.
bright, alert, responsive.
I was like breathing, air, respiratory. I couldn't think of it.
It's quicker than when we're checking up on a cat and texting the vet group to say, oh yeah, I didn't eat this morning, but it's bright,
Far.
alert, responsive.
Yeah.
Instead of, but he's doing fine, acting a little slow. Like, that's a lot of typing.
Sorry.
What is that crazy there?
It keeps it all level.
Really?
Yeah. So like I can run around the cage and it's
Really?
all level.
That thing's
Probably
crazy.
still do it.
You see that? Like, move it. Like,
Oh, it keeps it all.
yeah.
And it all stays on the cat. Sorry about that, everybody.
Some extra work.
What are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of times they do hold their breath whenever they're under sedation.
Did you find it?
No, it's one of ours that lives at the sanctuary. She was probably trying to catch a bird and fell.
Oh, that's bad. It's just like a cat. Like a really big cat. They're so cute when they're sleeping. Oh, cute. Just that.
Yes, she broke her leg. We don't know how she broke her leg. She could have broken it any number of ways. She's bendy clawed, so she may have fallen out of the tree. She could have been jumping after a squirrel or a serval and landed wrong. Dr. Justin's going to put a plate in there to stabilize it, and then about 8 weeks of cage rest.
Okay. Oh, do you mind doing sterile stuff?
No.
Or I can if you want to spray that.
Yes, the guy in the green is the vet. That's Dr. Justin Borstein. And during the week, he works at Humane Society of Tampa Bay, where they do lots of spays and neuters, and he does a lot of bone repairs and that sort of thing. So he's had lots of practice with that, even though this is really unusual for one of our cats to have a broken leg. Sometimes bobcats that come from the wild have been hit by a car, and they have broken legs when they arrive.
You know where the other bin is? Over.
He's taken Erica.
I don't know where you guys want to like grab it from. Like the liquid.
It's underneath the sink.
Okay.
is mixed Chlorohex, and then there's alcohol on the shelf above the autoclave.
And you open a pack of Serval.
Yeah, with the in there.
Lexi, they shaved the fur on her neck yesterday when they were getting a blood sample from her. We did all the diagnostics yesterday because we didn't know what was wrong with her. She was just limping. So last night they drew blood and did x-rays,
Are we
and
good to move her in there?
it was clear that her leg was broken.
Really?
But they couldn't keep her asleep
It's just
that
the
long.
sternal, right?
Yeah, sternal with her head kind of to the side.
Is this going to be in the way, Jamie? Do you want to help me lift it out of your way? You guys can roll later. Okay.
Do you want the head?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is where it gets fun.
She's laying like a poodle.
Yeah.
Humane Society has a nice little courtyard out there where they can take their breaks. And then glass between the surgery suites. After you get decked out, I need you to hold the camera while I do it.
So just skipping steps here.
Well, it's puppy.
You have too much hair for those things. Brooke, Samantha is the one in the maroon scrubs, and she's one of Dr. Justin's regular vet techs who volunteered to come in on a Saturday. The lady in pink here who's taking the camera is Jamie. She's our president and Dr. Justin's wife. Dark blue goes on the outside. This doesn't have a little nose.
Yeah. This handle is nice.
Oh, sweet. So much more comfortable with trying to hold the camera. Yes, Jamie in the pink over there is my daughter. She's been doing this work since she was 12 years old. And now I'm really going to sound muffled because I had to put on a face mask and cover my hair so that we don't introduce any germs to the environment. Yes, Debbie, she only injured the one leg.
I guess we may put a heating pad over her. Is that one working? Or
Am I in the way of a heating bed? Here.
Too many things.
Oh, that would be terrible, Mara. She broke both front legs, but it's just the one. You're right, Donna. Amanda, I had done bobcat rehab and release since I was 17 years old. But the cat who started the sanctuary was Windsong. If you go to bigcatrescue.org, there's a tab called About Us, and it talks about how we got started with her and then rescued a bunch of cats from fur farms. Yeah, you can really see those spots on the skin.
Oh, yeah.
That's true of all of the cats.
Let's do like
Dr. Justin really likes music when he operates, and he has a wide array of musical choices. We opted not to have rap so that I don't have to beep anything out.
So that's what we need for the hospital.
yeah.
Music?
No, this blanket.
Oh, really? This is a blanket?
It's like a water blanket, right?
Yeah, it won't get too hot so you won't burn your patients or anything like that.
Sweet.
I don't know if they make longer ones, you know, but they can lay on them and keep them warm.
Can Jamie wrap her feet up in a towel to keep them warm? Her back feet? There's a
She's
towel right
probably
over
gonna
there.
get a towel over.
Is that
She's gonna be.
the other part of the blanket?
The striker part?
Yeah.
It's going on the wish list. Yeah, I know when I'm cold, it's my feet that get cold. Hey, Dee.
So watch out for that table over there.
This one?
Sterile, yeah.
So Jamie's just telling me this is the sterile table, and I can't have anything hanging over that or touching that.
Especially once the drape goes on it.
Well, I just saw the crack open, so I didn't want her back in.
She's already not feeling pain because she's sedated and she got pain meds last night. That looks cushier than ours too. Very nice floor cushion. Looks very thick and comfortable.
It's very warm in here.
What?
It's very warm in here.
It is a little warmer.
They're going to put a pin in that leg to stabilize it because you can't put a cast on a wildcat. They'll just chew it off and eat it, causing more damage to the area and possibly causing us to have to remove it surgically from their stomachs. Dr. Justin said it'll probably be 8 weeks of being kept in a very small cage in the cat hospital to give it time to heal so that she can't do any more jumping. He said by the time 3 weeks into it, she's going to feel perfectly good and she's going to want to run and jump and carry on like a maniac, but it needs that full 8 weeks to completely bond. Yes, Amanda, she was a pet that we rescued in 2013, and that's what we do. We rescue big cats from people that get them as pets, or from circus acts, or from fur farms. And what probably sets us apart from any other sanctuary is that we're actually working on a federal bill to put an end to the private possession of these animals, because it never works out well for the animal. Judy, we are always very cautious about how long these cats are sedated, and we try not to ever go over 3 hours of sedation. He said he expected this surgery to be about an hour and a half. They have to do all of the prep work, which is getting all of the area shaved and cleaned and disinfected, and making sure all of the monitors are hooked up and working, and that the heating pad is on and working. All of that stuff takes time. When you guys see our videos, they're 3 minutes long that show you the surgery from start to ending, and you don't realize that there are hours of tedious waiting. Eric, we have all kinds of stuff that you can buy to support the cats at bigcatrescue.biz. Thank you, Rhonda, for reminding everybody about that contest. We're in a contest where we could win $5,000 for our foster kitten program, and that's something that we do with the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. When orphan kittens are rescued by them, they have to be bottle fed and taken care of around the clock, and so our interns do that, and then they stay in our kitten cabana to be socialized so that they're very easy to adopt, and then they come back here and they get fixed here to the Humane Society and adopted out. And we're in a contest right now where if you vote every day through the 6th of next month, we might win $5,000, and right now we're in second place. We're losing to the dogs, so please go and vote for the cats at votecats.com. Pamela, as long as my battery holds out, you'll see the surgery as well. It's in the car. The problem is the battery pack plugs into here. You can't get into there.
So watch out for him.
So Dr. Justin is now sterile, and I've got to stay completely away from him. Samantha's going to get him all tied up here.
Those are weird bugs.
They're worth the piece, though. They're a little thicker.
I just meant like the color.
Yeah.
Do you have a good sense of feel in those?
They're a little bit less. But I'm pretty used to it. They're a little bit better. A lot of people double glove. So I think it's a little better than double glove. Yeah, I'm probably gonna slide up. That should be good.
Like, no matter how big you make a surgery room, it's never big enough for all the stuff that has to happen in there.
Maybe a little closer. No, like
Oh, here.
far as they can go. Yeah, that's it.
Amanda, the only cats who can go free are the ones who came from the wild. All of these cats at Big Cat Rescue are pets that were, mostly pets that were bred for life in cages, and so they're not native to Florida. We can't release them in Florida. And since they were born in the United States, they can't be released back to their native habitats because they really aren't natives to there either, even though that's where they should be. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/go-free, that'll tell you all about why.
You need those grips.
Yeah,
You can
so
take them from Big Cat. We never use them.
I don't need them that often. I think they do a decent job.
Somebody's asking why her leg is up like that.
So we can drape it in sterilely. And also to help stretch the muscles, so it's easier to put it back together. If we were playing on the table, it wouldn't be sterile.
So I learned something too just now. Pamela, we do have tours at the sanctuary year-round, and you can find out more about that at bigcatrescue.org/tickets. Courtney, at our sanctuary, we do use bear huggers, but he was saying that he actually likes the water blanket better, so.
In recovery, we use a bear hugger.
And he just said in recovery they use a bear hugger. They're asking why on top and not under.
Because the table's heated.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get a heated table?
I don't like it as much. You gotta keep it lower. It scares me. I'm always afraid it'll burn a patient. So if they get wet, they're more likely. That's why the water blankets are safer, because they won't burn patients ever.
Cool.
But if they're on a table for 2-3 hours, it's like sleeping on a heating pad, you know, it like gets hotter. I think you could cut it off. Go for it. Now big drape, you're gonna have to open everything. Wait.
I'm guessing he won't know if there's any tendon or ligament damage until he gets in there.
This is when he makes a mess. He throws everything out.
I see everything all over the floor.
Just like at home.
Actually, Rhonda, I think that URL is bigcatrescue.org/NALA, NALA-Serval, SERVAL.
I'll take some 3 out right now.
Michelle, I think keeping the foil around her paw is to keep the fur out of the incision spot, if they didn't shave her little foot. But it could keep it warm too.
Tell me when you're ready for the box.
crate. Maybe open it there and I can pick it up. You think that'd be easier?
Thank you, Soledad. Wow, watching from Greenland, Rita. No worries, Rhonda. I think if they type that in, they'll probably get to the right page, but sometimes it doesn't always resolve to the page if you don't get it exactly right. Those are gloves. That's not his hands. He was saying that those are a special type of extra thick surgical glove. Is that Dr. Bard?
No, I don't think she's gonna come today. I think she has prior plans. She was hoping to, but I think she had to ask her husband. I think they had plans already.
Who's that? You got a tiger stripe drill cover now?
Yeah, someone made it for me.
Oh my goodness.
Fancy.
Kim, one of the techs here, is really good at stuff. I'm gonna drop the drill. And I'll probably need.
And is that to just keep it sterile?
Yeah. They make autoclavable drills, but they're thousands of dollars, like up to $10,000 or $12,000. This is $300. So, Humane Society was.
And a $5 sack.
Yeah. You need just the lights. You want Jamie to try? They're trying not to reach over any of these things. I know it's not going to be easy. So
Then you have to turn that.
spin it this way towards her. And then go over.
Do you want it behind you?
It might be nicer over, and I don't think it'll. I think it's got to go the other way. And you got to bring this one that way. So, Jamie, come over here. Grab that one. Make that arm swing that way. Do you guys? If we can kind of put it over top. Okay. Just
Maybe from the outside edge. There you go.
that's pretty good. Yeah, and if we could bring that one more over top, Sam, just so 'cause this is gonna block it. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Serval with the broken leg.
You putting a plate on?
Yeah.
Nice. How to break it?
Don't know. I mean, it's enclosure. It's a young serval compared to most of our population. So my guess is she's probably trying to catch a bird or something.
Huh.
And landed weird.
Yeah.
They can leap 12 feet straight
Yeah.
up.
Same video. Yeah. What's the fracture like?
Comminuted radiusoma. Yeah. It's gonna need like a bridging plate. Hopefully not too many holes left open. Maybe 3, 4.
What are you gonna do for recovery?
Just cage rep. They don't really like.
Is that the X-ray?
Yeah.
Can you show people here that didn't see it last night? So this is what he's fixing. This part right here is where it's broken.
Can I get a curved medicine ball? You staying busy up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, it's alright, steady. We're well staffed these days.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. We're just, 4 days. Like yesterday too, we were, some days it's like working till 5:30, and I'm not getting paid for overtime, so that kind of stuff.
That does.
Yeah. Alright, have fun.
Yeah. You could probably drop the rest of that stuff into there. Yeah.
Send out your shirt.
Yeah.
There's always a surprisingly little amount of blood.
Sometimes. Depends on the procedure.
I've never seen you do anything that was terribly bloody.
Sam's laughing over that.
What?
She said she's never seen me do anything that's terribly bloody.
Never.
I didn't confess.
I think sometime this week there was like blood on my nose. And this one's stuck.
Lynn, he didn't go to a special school for big cats. It's just he spends so much of his time as soon as he got out of vet school working on big cats. I don't even know if they make a special school for that.
Well, you can become boarded in Zoo Med.
Really?
Yeah, so you can do, but that's all animals, not just big cats.
Yeah, we'd much prefer that he be a specialist in cats.
I just spend a lot of time trying to find it all.
All these people are like, I'm eating breakfast and I just can't look away. unlike our Explore cameras, I can't get right over the surgery because I would contaminate the surgical area. The Explore cameras are mounted with a globe over them, over our tables.
You can probably stand over here and get a good shot.
Yeah, if you go like
Up
up
here.
to or over there.
Thank you. Holler if I'm in your way.
That's it. Just pieces. Flip around. It's got some nice cracks in it.
Get up, grab a picture.
You can add this one to your bed talk. Something different.
You can add it to your cage talk. The downside of giving them such wonderful natural environments, so they do wonderfully naturally horrible things to themselves.
Yeah. I think a cat, any animal could break a bone in any cage. It's just bad luck, bad fall. I mean, I see at least one fracture a week, at least. Probably 2 or 3. And most people can't fix them, but
We fixed the chihuahua yesterday.
yeah,
Wow.
femur fracture. So
That's gonna be hard when they're so little.
it was smaller than a chicken bone. It was like one of the little chicken wing bones. Like not a drumstick. Drumstick's bigger than a femur. Thought I did.
Did you?
It's like 68 out there.
Try it
Maybe
again.
this hasn't kicked in.
I try it again. It's hot.
He's going to use a plate, Ashlyn. So they'll, I guess, screw it to the good bone on either side, and then that long plate will be what gives it the steadiness for it to heal. Rita, he's thinking it'll be about an hour and a half. Unless he's changed his mind since he's seen inside here.
Just depends on how it wants to lay. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're not.
Just holler if I'm in your way, Samantha.
What was that?
I said just holler if I'm in your
Oh,
way or
no.
push me.
Okay. I just need to see that, and I might lean in a little bit because of bad eyesight.
The biggest problem with these comminuted fractures, I was telling her, is it's very hard to line up the bone straight because they're not a puzzle piece. They don't fit together perfectly, and so you can put them on a little bit crooked. In human medicine, they have something called fluoroscopy, which is like live X-ray. That you just come over and you can see everything you're doing. I'm sure that's a lot of money.
Every time you talk, you get this burst of hearts. So those of you who were not with us last night, what he is saying is that there's the big heavy bone that supports the weight of the cat, and then there's the little skinny bone And so he'll only be plating the big heavy bone, but he's got to make sure that he does it in such a way that it helps the little bone match up and heal too. Ooh, I got really blown out there all of a sudden. Christine, nobody saw how she did it. Knowing her, there's absolutely no telling how she did it. She's quite the hunter in her cage, always catching birds and squirrels and such, and so this was likely one of those failed attempts.
Does Gail put gauze in with your tools?
She should.
Like everything should have some gauze put in with it?
It just, yeah, it helps keep down on moisture, like during the autoclaving process.
And then can you use it throughout your procedure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's painful to watch.
Huh?
I said that's painful to watch.
Yeah, orthopedics are kind of brutal.
Ami, they'll be doing all the work inside her skin so that there's nothing for her to chew off on the outside.
It's a mess.
Thank you, Terry, for inserting those medical terms for the big bone and the little bone. If you see that plate that he's putting in, it has several holes already drilled in it so that he can pick a good spot to put a screw in. Amanda, she'll spend 8 weeks in a small cage in the cat hospital for healing, but Dr. Justin said that probably by the time 3 weeks have passed, she'll be feeling really good. You just have to keep her in there those extra weeks because the bone needs time to completely mend. Oh yeah, she'll be getting all kinds of good pain meds. Which is another reason you have to keep them in a small cage, because if they're not feeling any pain, then they want to jump around and be crazy. Yes, Michelle's right. The plate will stay in. She's never going to pass through security at the airport again. Griffin wants to know if you've done this type of procedure very many times.
Not, well, everyone's different. Every fracture's different. So, yes, I put on a lot of plates, but this is a pretty bad fracture, so.
It's your first Serval plate.
Yes. Some bobcats.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor?
Mr. Claus.
Mr. Claus.
Mr. Claus got a big old femur plate.
But he does a lot of that sort of thing during the day here on dogs and cats.
Yeah, he's still there. He's hanging out. It's cool. It's really cool.
Can you raise the table a little bit? You might have to raise both tables.
Are those the things to raise them?
Right under
It's under me? Okay, I can hit it. Yeah, you're gonna have to go up with that one. But that's it. That's all it's good. Get a pair of gilbies.
So you have the plate in there?
I have it sitting on top. I'm just trying to figure out where I can put it.
These good?
Yeah.
The only thing is seeing like
Sorry, Jen, I had not seen that question. People are asking if her mobility will be affected once she's healed.
Guess it depends on how good I did.
And how much she
No
leaves
pressure.
it alone.
Yeah, how good
Yeah,
she does.
yeah, exactly. Recovery and things like that. But I mean, it doesn't look like there's a ton of trauma here. So if she can leave it alone and the plate goes on well, she should do great.
Leslie, we are currently at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. Samantha here came in on her day off to help Dr. Justin. And they have all these cool tools that we don't have, and pins and plates and all the kind of stuff that's necessary to do this kind of work. We rarely see broken legs unless it's a bobcat that gets hit by a car. But Dr. Justin was saying they see that in domestic dogs and cats all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the question, Marion. You said catheter required in Western Australia.
We have a catheter.
Well, it was a question, so I don't know if she was saying she's from Western Australia or if it's required in Western Australia, but she has a catheter. Do you have a special type of glasses that they won't fall into the surgery?
No, they're just tight.
Now they're saying you need a TV show called In the OR with Dr. Justin.
I don't know about that. There'd be a lot of pressure all the time. Man, it's a mess.
I would think after a while you'd just ignore us.
You really did a number on this one. She really did a number. Probably get a better picture of it if you want.
From which side?
This
Oh,
side.
I see. They were saying they need a catheter because they don't want to leave the room.
Yeah. Do you want to see that in the video? So you can really see how. The problem here is I'm just gonna leave all that there, so they're gonna be all like crazy looking, but they'll heal. So the X-ray will look like there's a bunch of peat fragments everywhere. But they say that's better.
Well, it probably gives you more calcium to bond onto.
Yeah, and you just try
And it's
not
your
to,
own calcium.
you try not to mess with it too much. Like, problem is gonna be the length. It should sit right about there. I'm just gonna pull on it firmly.
So you're just loosening up the muscles that are
Yeah.
holding on it.
Because the muscles have all contracted because they've been shorter for 12 hours.
So you can't give them like a muscle relaxant or something to like keep that from happening?
Probably
No.
about an hour and a half. And Rhonda, he's stretching the muscle because he's saying that it's contracted over the last few hours because of the leg being shortened by break. So he needs to stretch it all out so that it's all gonna work well with the leg being the length it should be. Is that her temperature that's at 107?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, heart rate. Temperature is the yellow one all at the bottom.
The yellow, 99.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the top one was temperature, so at 100 I was happy, but at 107 I was not happy anymore. That's because I don't know what I'm looking at. I gotta think one of the hardest surgeries Dr. Justin's done was probably on Thor because his whole face was broken in half like that, and so trying to line up his jaw and the upper palate
I
of his
don't know, I
mouth.
think this is gonna be it.
This is it? Ugh.
Yeah, Thor,
That
you
big
just
cat.
kinda threw some wire around his jaw.
Yeah.
Called it a day.
Don't look bad, but
He healed great.
yeah.
Maybelle, we think that she's 6 years old, and we don't know for sure because her owner died, and the son of the owner is the one who contacted us, and he thought she was about 3 years old when we got her in 2013. In most places, they'll live to be 10 or 12. At Big Cat Rescue, they usually live into their late teens and early 20s.
So she's got quite a bit of time left.
Sorry, we can't see her face. It's under the blanket. They're keeping her nice and warm under there. Yeah, you can see her little paw sticking out. That's it. A little peek. There she is. That thing on her tongue is what's giving you all the readings that you see over here. That long silver thing is the plate, and then he's got forceps that he's pulling the muscles back to lengthen them out to the length of the bone. People are asking for a Thor update, Jamie.
He's doing fine.
When's the last time you pulled camera images?
We're using the wireless trail cam now, so every time it takes a photo, it sends it to my email. So we've gotten pictures as recent as last week.
Oh, how cool.
He goes by the site about once a week. We get like 40 pictures of deer every day sent to my email.
One of these days they'll make a camera so smart you can show it a shape and say, don't send this.
Just take pictures of bobcats.
Two things. Need, I think in that drawer, or yeah, that one, that green and yellow thing, I think that's it. And then if you can find another 2mm drill bit. I pulled one out.
2mm?
Yeah, it looks like this. Like this big.
This one isn't labeled, but it looks.
It's a little bigger. What about right in the front, right there?
This is 1.5.
No, right in the front. Right, yeah, right there, right under that. What's that one? Yeah, that one.
Somebody was asking to see a plate. Is that a plate right there? So they can see what that looks like
Plate?
up close. There's another type.
Is that one real big?
This is a little small. Might use this. It's a little crooked. Last 13. I know we have them.
Susan, Dr. Justin works for the Humane Society during the week, and then he comes to Big Cat Rescue on the weekends or nights or whenever we have an emergency.
Finally.
Julie, I don't know how my camera battery is doing because it doesn't give me an indicator until it starts to die.
This is it. But try the first one. Just drop it.
Leslie, I think they do work on regular pets.
Here?
Yeah,
Yeah, domestic. These are
just like a regular vet clinic.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I just do owned animals.
But that whole surgery thing out there is where they do the spay and neuters of all the cats,
And then this is where I
feral
do.
cats.
This is where I do everything else. So foreign bodies, fracture repairs in this room. Mass removals.
Marion, you can find out all of the different tours at bigcatrescue.org/tickets. How long's Justin been at Big Cat Rescue?
10 years.
Yeah. So what is this, your 100 second cat?
Yeah. Can I get, there's one more of these bone holding forceps in there. It's in
Pointy ones or
the grabby ones. Yeah. No, yeah, those.
This is the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, and it's inside of the Tampa city limits. I think the biggest animal that Dr. Justin's worked on has probably been the lions and tigers at the sanctuary. I don't know which one was actually bigger.
Shere Khan.
Oh, Shere Khan. Yeah, that was like 700 pounds a cat. Probably not by the time you worked on him, but at his peak he was. They all get old and skinny in their old age.
Oh, I think we weighed him one time, and he was like 750.
Yeah.
When you worked on him? Wow.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that for his foot?
Yeah, I think so. China doll being a brat.
Mary Bell, the doctor's name is Dr. Justin Borstein, and the assistant in maroon is Samantha. And the lady in pink is Jamie. She's my daughter and our president and Dr. Justin's wife. You're like Khaleesi, Mother of Dragons, the Unburnt, you had all those extra names. You don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
A little bit.
Oh, do you start?
Obviously, we have a fan in here.
She's a fan, so.
I love Game of Thrones. We have a Khaleesi t-shirt. I am Cat Khaleesi, mother of cats. The unscratched. The minute the drill starts, everybody turns their sound down. You had me right up until drill.
It is.
He has smaller little screw boxes. And one time I made a mistake of tipping one over without
Oh
the lid.
no.
You gotta measure each one, because I need to know the length in order
Yeah,
to.
that was fun. Yeah, all have to put in the right spot.
For those of you who have just joined, this is Nala the Serval. She's 6 years old. She was rescued 3 years ago. She was a pet and it had been declawed. And yesterday we saw that she was in her den and not coming out to eat, which is unusual for her. So when they got her to come to the side of the cage, they saw she was limping. Dr. Justin came in and sedated her and did x-rays and blood work and everything, but we couldn't do the surgery then because that was at the sanctuary. We don't have all the plates and tools that we need for a bone repair because we almost never see that kind of work. So he decided it would be better for her to wake up last night and then bring her into the Humane Society this morning, because if we had to keep her sedated for all those hours of driving her to the Humane Society and then waiting for all the prep, it would have been way too long for her to be under anesthesia. She woke up very well from anesthesia last night. Rita wants to know when you guys got married.
Wait, what?
When you got married. It was December 1st of what year?
2012.
Yep.
You were waiting to see if he knew. You're so bad. He's under enough stress. Good job, Justin. Did she give you chocolate when you get things right?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm
Here.
if you did that.
Lynn, the reason that she was given up as a pet, and most people give them up by the time they're 3 years old because they've become the wild animals they're meant to be. They start spraying urine all over the house, and the guy who owned her died, and his son didn't want that, and so he called us and we rescued her. I don't really understand why the limit on anesthesia, because they're getting oxygen and everything, but that three hours is all that they can usually stand. That's why with some of our cats, when they've had to have dental work done, we've had to do it over 2 or 3 different times so that they're not out for more than 3 hours at a time. Roseanne is correct. We are in Tampa, Florida. I don't know how many screws it's going to take. He'll know when he gets it right, though. Lynn, they're born in this country. It's not that people bring servals in from Africa. It's that there are all kinds of backyard breeders who will breed them for the pet market. Everybody did fine in the Hurricane Marion. Just a lot of water. Sheila Cataldo. Leanne, we will take her back to Big Cat Rescue today as soon as the surgery is done, and she will recover in the West Bench Hospital on site there. We'll have Nest cams on her so you guys can keep an eye on her. I don't know what servals sell for. My guess is, from what I've heard from other people, it's like $7,000 or $8,000 now. But by the time they're 3 years old, they're biting and spraying and horrible, horrible pets. Ashlyn, I wouldn't suggest the Savannahs either because you have to breed them. And that's cruel to keep those servals in a cage, and a lot of times they'll kill the domestic cats. So the whole thing is just a horrible industry. If you go to bigcarescue.org/hybrid-facts, you can find out more about that. Vicky, she'll have to be kept in a very small cage where she can't jump around until it heals. That is so weird. She's so much smaller than any neighbor he's had over there. Well, thank you, Lori and Mary and Sharon. You do have an amazing family. Somebody's asking if it's a pathological fracture.
No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like she fell. Pathological would be more like there's a reason behind it.
Like bad nutrition or something?
Yeah, exactly. Her bones seem super tough, and we don't really get many of those.
Hi, Shayla. I have a tuxedo house cat. Yeah, Renee, a lot of times you read about people with servals, the servals escaping because they can jump 12 feet. Most people's backyard fences are 6 feet. Yeah, it's just really broken badly. He wants to get it as straight as he can.
Yeah.
He said it looked like you were really struggling with the break there. Yes, Rachel, he said it's one of the worst that he's had to do yet. Thank you, Stan Arnold, for reminding everyone that they can help us pay for these kinds of procedures at bigcatrescue.org/donate. I don't know when Zabu is due for another dental, do you?
Very soon.
Got out the window. That didn't surprise me either. They'll knock the screens right out.
I don't know if Dr. Gingrich is looking forward to another session.
It's a marathon for sure.
Yeah.
Deb, he said her bones actually look like they're in pretty good shape. I know a lot of times when cats come to us from pet homes, they've been feeding them canned cat food and all kinds of stupid things. So they have paper shell bones, but he didn't think that was it. He thinks she just managed to really damage it,
Yeah.
leaping or getting it stuck in the wire as she went after something.
I might need you to scrub in.
Somebody just
can't.
got through saying that. He needs this assistant to scrub in.
Yeah.
More hands than what you got there.
I just can't hold it.
Yeah, so just every 5 minutes write down everything. So the heart rate, respiratory rate, CO2, which is yeah, so that's respiratory rate and expired CO2, pulse ox, blood pressure and temp.
Sorry.
You know how much I love
One of you guys are gonna have to tie her in when she comes.
I would say that's you because I only have one hand.
You're gonna have to move from there too, probably, because she's gonna be right
No,
on.
she's probably gonna come on this
Oh,
side.
on that side.
Yeah. I'm gonna stretch it and have her screw it to screw in.
Lana wants to know if you think it's going to be more than one plate.
Nope. I think I'll just do one. Now, if this was a big cat, like a leopard or a tiger or something like that, it'd probably be a lot.
So going off these old numbers.
And we probably call Dr. Hay.
This is the respiratory rate, and that's the CO2 rate.
Yes.
Gail Ingham just joined us.
ISO.
Hey, Gail.
Oh, Gail's special. She got a shout out from the vet.
Well, he probably thought it was like Gail.
It's our Gail.
Yeah.
Fluid.
Rhonda, thank you for posting that URL, bigcatact.com. That's the most important thing anybody in the United States can do, is to get their legislator to champion that bill. We've got about 89, I think, co-sponsors now. I'm so excited. It's really moving through Congress, and I want to get it passed this session, and that means we need to get all of the members of Congress on board so that it gets a hearing. So please contact your legislator. We have an email that makes it really easy for you, and if you'll call them, that's even more important. And when you do the email, it'll bring up their phone number, so it makes it easy. And all you got to say is, I want you to champion the Big Cat Public Safety Act, and you'll have that text right in front of you when you send the email anyway.
How come you have to write this? Does it have a? But this doesn't print all that?
No. Probably could. But someone should be watching it anyway.
Oh, yeah. So the ISO is the same, right?
That's the same.
Rainey, he has to use the drill to make the place for the screw that goes through the plate. So the plate has a bunch of screw holes in it,
So just keep writing.
and then you screw the plate to the good part of the bone on either side of the break, and that's what stabilizes the bone so that it can heal. Yes, Lynn, if you go to bigcatrescue.org, right there on the very front page, it'll say, this is the most important thing you can do, like I just said. And we have a link right there for you to do it.
Probably will only take her like a minute to do it. Secondhand for her.
So I can see why it was so difficult, because you know, if you're holding all that pressure back, now you've got nothing left to go and
You
put
need
the
extra
screw in.
arms.
Yeah.
I'm all for genetic engineering. You can make veterinarians with 4 arms.
It looks pretty straight. Right?
Oh,
That's bad.
yeah. It's big.
Yeah, her vitals are
Is
doing
this the other
fine.
thing we need?
Yep.
What is that?
Pushes fluid.
Oh wow, wouldn't that be sweet?
And it, you know, it tells you exactly how much it's pushing too. So.
We want one of those.
Does that
We
warm
have one
them?
of those.
I know that blue egg thing warms them, right?
Blue egg thing warms up. You gotta put that really close to the patient, because if it's far away,
It
just
travels through the line and
Yeah.
cools down.
Christine says, this is reminding me, my cat needs her annual checkup. She's gonna be 21. Moving all these packs out of the way so they don't slip on them. We're just waiting for Samantha to scrub in.
Yeah.
Put one in.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing fine on the sedation time.
Normally I have multiple techs, so they'll scrub in sooner, just in case, but in this case, since I only had one, I was like, Brady's the only I can usually do by myself. So, but a comminuted one, I guess I can.
I want to know what the red thing is. You talking about the blood? I don't know. Oh, that's her paw.
That's her paw. Can't really sterilize the paw very well, so we wrap it in tin foil with that wrap.
And it's the tin foil to keep it warm?
No, tin foil is to keep any moisture from coming out of the paw. So the vet wrap's nice because it really keeps it there, but it is permeable. So you could get sweat or a lot of blood, and then you have possibly bacteria coming through. So.
Looks like she's ready to be tied up.
Yeah, you just gotta tie in her neck and back.
Do you want to pull it back or?
Yeah. It's really big.
So Laura doing?
I looked for mediums but not ready.
Is it just the neck or?
And then there's two on the bottom, or in the middle.
Ellen wants to know, do cats ever have feline hyperthesia syndrome? I don't know. We've never seen it.
Okay.
She
You
weighs
can come
28
right in
pounds.
here. What you're gonna do is take this screw, put it in the hole and screw it in. Okay. See right there? It's there's 3 empty holes, and then there's, see the screw? Yeah, that hole. And then I probably just grabbed it. Screw with purpose. Like quick ones, you don't have to put that thing down. You can push down a little. Now start, is it going in?
Yeah.
And now as it goes, you'll feel it get harder. And then you'll hit the other side in a second, right? Right,
Okay, right
yeah.
there. So it's harder.
Yep. Very good.
Doug, how could you tell we're using Steadicam? Did you see it in the mirror? Or can you tell from the video?
So it looks rather straight. That's really all I needed before, but I'd say let's wait and just double.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in case something changes.
Yeah, Lauren, we can't do anything
But that
about
was like impossible without you.
The members of Congress will all have different kinds of things that it goes under, whether it's agricultural or animal welfare or animal rights, and there's no way to make the form pick that for each individual one since they're not standardized. Correct, Ellen. Lynn, the biggest cat at the sanctuary is Nikita Lion. She's probably about 500 pounds. Yeah, I think Nikita's bigger than TJ. Alright, Jamie Jordan Clark wants to know who is the sweetest cat at Big Cat Rescue? Can you make a non-biased judgment on that?
Pharaoh.
No, it's Mrs. Claus.
She's the most special.
Really? Pharaoh's sweet?
To me. He comes over and he goes meow, rubs all over the cage. Nobody will ever see that side of him.
You're gonna have to wear like a GoPro on your head just to prove it, because I can't even go up behind you and get it. He looks at me and runs.
You're welcome
The
to come
only
in
grandkid
closer if
in
you
the
wanted to
world
see
that
it
looks like
better.
grandmother.
Huh?
You're welcome to come in closer if you wanted to see it better, but it's like just right there. So
Can you put like wire around it?
no, because it's not gonna increase the stability of it. You're better off not touching it, and it'll heal great as long as she doesn't bend the plate. So bridging plate. You want to put wire to keep it all together, but unless it helps the stability, it's not worth it.
Did you make sure the one I did was fair enough?
I'll take them all at the end.
Okay. Am I good?
Yeah.
You move back over there, or can I go over there?
I'm going to get
So it looks like it's a guide to make sure it's straight into the bone. And so you don't throw your finger. Helena says she thinks Jumanji is the sweetest. Was that all you needed Samantha for?
Yep.
Just like getting that first one in to kind of hold it, and then you can.
Hey Leslie, thanks for joining us. Oh, you logged right in to talk about your favorite cat being TJ. He's pretty sweet too. If somebody could post Nala's URL again, I posted on her page what happened. It's bigcatrescue.org/Nala, N-A-L-A dash Serval, S-E-R-V-A-L.
How many more screws you got?
Lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm running out of the sizes I need. I'm going to place them a little bit longer. Our bone's so even across it, I don't really need different sized screws.
Because it doesn't get thinner and
It
thicker.
doesn't get thicker and thinner, yeah.
And it's so long. You realize?
I'd rather have a longer one than too short a one. But if it breaks, then there's no going back from that sometimes.
Leanne, they did a full exam on her last night when they were first diagnosing the broken leg, so that's why they don't need to do it today. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for posting that URL. They probably will give her more fluids today, but aside from that, it's all
Yeah.
about the leg
And pain meds.
and pain meds. That's a good idea. Glad Dr. Justin's thinking about the pain meds, because everybody on this chat is worried about the pain meds.
You're nice handwriting. So when,
She takes after me.
Yeah, I was just about to
because
say.
you have the
it's
nicest.
terrible. He writes a vet report, and I look at it like, I don't know what that says.
I know, you guys send out those photographs to everybody in the vet group, and it's like, I sure hope Karma can read this, because I can't read it.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I went into X-ray and they're doing X-rays on Buddy, the Explorer, the Rojas Foster.
Yeah.
He was here vomiting and diarrhea. He ate a bunch of rocks.
No.
Aww.
Did you see my Explorer up there?
I didn't go into wellness.
Oh, okay. Dog ate a mop.
A mop. Was it all in the stomach or in the intestine
No, it
too?
was all the way through the intestines.
Oh my gosh.
Been there for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Surprised dog's not dead.
Plus it probably was loaded with chemicals. If it was a mop.
The owner thinks it's a mop. He like has no idea really what it is, but it does. It did kind of look like a mop. So there was a lot of string.
Somebody a while back was asking where she's going to be kept. We have 2 hospitals at Big Cat Rescue. One of them is where we do procedures, so we just don't have all of the high-tech stuff for doing a bad bone break like this.
This can cost $15,000 for everything. So
For all these tools that we're seeing
yeah.
here.
So I don't know if it's worth it to stock all that stuff. Should be autoclaved every 3 to 6 months. So it's, you know, if we're gonna use one, and we stock every plate size, you know, every screw. So it's a lot to stock for 1 or 2 a year.
Well, even that, not even that probably.
Yeah.
Because you guys were saying it was like 5 in the whole time you've been
Yeah.
here.
But rehab, if that changes,
That's true.
yeah. If we start getting a lot more broken bobcats, then might pay for itself.
Yeah, I'm nervous about sending out all those packets to the veterinary clinics.
Because everybody will be calling and saying,
Right,
all right,
getting
come at 3 in the morning, get your
It'll be
bobcat.
really busy.
Normally I'll leave a couple holes empty, because you don't need holes in everyone, but I'm gonna fill this one up.
That leg's going to be heavier than the other one.
Each screw, our cost is like $8 or $9, so.
And that doesn't weaken the bone by having more screws?
Not usually, no. It's more likely to break over empty holes. The bone's usually pretty healthy, as long as there's no cracks in the bone.
Oh, so Kimberly, what I started to say is that she'll go in the West Bench Cat Hospital. It's just for recovery for our cats. And they'll have 2 small cages in there. And so she'll be switched from one side to the other so that they can clean her cage. And she's got to be in that for 8 weeks. Brooklyn wants to know if you'll be doing another x-ray after the surgery.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure everything's placed correctly. We don't have to go back in for any reason. I like I said, some of these screws are probably going to be a little bit longer than I like, but we're talking
Fractions.
2-3 millimeters, you know, just a little bit longer than I like.
You're right, Brooke. She's going to be bored in there.
Super bored.
They had the Kitten Sitter DVD, but I think they memorized that loop, just like your children memorize their favorite shows. Diane, we don't know how she broke her leg. She's 6 years old, which is really young for one of our Servals, and she has trees and bushes in her enclosure. It's about 1,200 square feet, maybe more than that. And so she runs around and chases birds and squirrels and stuff all the time, and it could be that she just landed wrong. Joanne, we think she's 6 years old. We got her 3 years ago and she was an adult then, but her owner had died and his son, the one who gave her up, didn't really know much about her.
Right, hold on.
He can't wave at the camera. His hands are a little busy.
The sterile wave.
That was Jonathan from North Carolina. Meredith, I think all of the Servals poked their head through that 4-inch wire. Lynette, everything's going well. He's got a bunch of screws in the plate now. It's looking really steady in there.
I think we're good. Do you want one last picture, James, before we start closing?
Yeah, which side?
Right this side.
Finish the plate.
Can't really get it all.
The reason Jamie takes all those photographs of Dr. Justin's work is a lot of times Dr. Justin does presentations, slideshow presentations, either for our interns and volunteers, and sometimes for vet students. He was asked to speak down in St. Kitts recently, and so you can imagine his presentations are always the most interesting ones because he's got all of these cool cat photos over all the years that he's been working on them. Yes, Julie, it's her front left paw. I just wanted to check her little wrist to make sure it's all working the way it should. Maribel, when they are in recovery, it depends on the cat as to whether or not we spend a lot of time with them, talking to them, or leaving them alone. Some of the cats really love some of their keepers, and so it's good enrichment for them to go in and sit with them and hand feed them. And of course, like you said, we don't touch them.
I thought you dropped 3 out somewhere.
It's on there.
But some of the cats don't like people. I don't know if there's anybody Nala likes. She hisses at me every time I see her. Do you know if anybody has a relationship with Nala?
I never seen her be nice.
You've never seen her be nice in 3 years. So she might be just a whole lot happier to have the room to herself.
Yeah. We don't have a ton of nice Servals.
They all hiss.
Tigers are way nicer than Servals.
Amen to that, brother. Somebody here is asking, do they have to take anti-rejection meds when they have a plate like that?
No. Now we just have to worry about her bending the plate and, I mean, just normal surgical complications like infection, things like that.
And you might wonder how on earth she could bend a plate if we're going to keep her in a very small, low cage where she can't run around or jump. But these guys, one of the ways that they hunt is they will wade out into the water and then they'll smack a fish so hard that they just knock it senseless, and then they can pull the fish up out of the water. So if somebody walks into the room and she gets mad and she whacks at the wall, she could really damage that leg. So it's going to be really important for 8 weeks to keep her from being a serval. You're right, Lauren. Even though Dr. Justin may be donating his time, there's still the cost of tying up this surgery suite here at the Humane Society, plus all of the stuff they had to put in her, and all of the medicines and medications that she's on now, and all of the medications she'll have to be on for the next 8 weeks. And when you multiply that by 69 cats, it gets pretty expensive providing vet care, even when the vets are donating their services. Elena, there's not a whole lot you can do to make her happy. We have the cat sitter DVDs and the dog sitter DVDs. We have, sometimes we'll open up the doors of the hospital so they can look outside, but it's in a part of the sanctuary that's not terribly interesting for a cat.
We need a recovery hospital with a big window outside of the garden, so they have some help with that.
And an aquarium. They need an aquarium. Please don't anybody send me fish. I really don't want an aquarium. I was kidding. It's a lot of work. Susan, we don't breed these cats. We think it's cruel to breed a wild animal for life in prison. So she will definitely not be bred.
She was spayed before she came to.
Yeah, if you watch the piece from last night, it was a live feed on Facebook, and now it's up on YouTube. He found 3 staples, which would indicate, based on their location, that she was spayed before she arrived. And we don't put cats together here, and if in the rare cases where they act like they want to be together, we do spay and neuter first to make sure they don't breed. Leslie, you're right. We have gone from 100 cats to 69 cats, exotic cats. And that is a good thing, because what's been happening is more states have been passing bans and partial bans so that people can't get these cats in the first place, so they don't need to be rescued. And that's what we're working for. We're trying to get that federal bill passed, the BigCatAct.com, so that there won't be any more cats bred for life in prison. Catherine, this one didn't come with a text because we're not in our clinic. We're at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, and I don't have any way to text everybody. That's a product of explore.org. They want to know if she can have toys.
She can have enrichment. Probably not toys, because she might run around the cage playing with them.
Well, enrichment, she might.
After a couple weeks.
Fandra, we are at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Rita wants to know if that's nylon or steel.
This is nylon. This is a monofilament, absorbable monofilament.
I like those. Then you don't have to pull them back out. Amy wants to know how small the cage is she's got to be in. Do you know how big those cages are?
Like 6 square feet, maybe. 3
Very
square.
tiny. It's no different than what I do for a dog that came in, or a cat. They go in a crate.
You have those elbow pieces off of your lights.
They probably just kept falling off.
ours have like caps, like the elbows up there, and sometimes like when we move lights certain ways, those pieces just go flying off.
Linda says you rock on closure.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of closure
Maybe
experience.
just when they're that close, they can't.
Ton of spades under his belt.
Yeah.
She got a lot of swelling, so it's tight too.
Oh. Yes, Diane, she'll be in recovery for the whole 8 weeks. Dr. Justin said she'll be feeling great about 3 weeks, but it's that last 5 weeks that you need the bone to really mend, and that's when she would do the most damage if we let her run around.
Or like Mr. Claus, that 12 hours after his surgery, he didn't even have a limp. Terrifying.
I think
She's gonna miss pumpkin enrichment time. That's her favorite. Did she have a pumpkin in the hospital?
Yeah.
At least
that's gonna
like
be messy.
4 or 5 weeks away.
Lauren says she wants to make sure that you feel all the love people are sending you and all the hearts and likes and happy faces that they're all sending you, since you can't see the screen. Linda's reminiscing on seeing you sew up the cat after the acorn in her intestine. Was that Zuletta?
I love it when I can fix a cat. As they get older, I don't get to fix as many of them.
You
Unfortunately.
can't fix old age.
No.
Yes, Tori, the plate will be left in permanently. Kathy, we always need volunteers. If you go to bigcatrescue.org, up at the top in the Get Involved tab, it's all kinds of ways you can get involved, from interning.
She is. Turn her up. Her ketamine and everything's probably wearing off. That's why she was so stable, because she got ketamine and dextromethorphan. So.
People are asking what kind of pain meds she'll get.
She'll get buprenorphine, which is like an opioid, and Medicam, which is a anti-inflammatory.
Is Buprenex and buprenorphine the same thing?
Yeah. One's a brand name.
Like tissue and Kleenex?
Yep.
Pedro, we did not have a lot of damage from the hurricane, just some limbs down and a lot of soggy ground. On your way?
I'm just gonna wet her tongue a little bit.
Samantha's getting her tongue wet so that she gets a better reading from this clip. When it's dry, they don't get a good reading.
That's a
Yes,
technical
the
term.
techno term is pulse oximeter. Christina, we don't know how she broke her leg. She has a huge cage full of trees and bushes, and so she may have, and she's declawed, so she may have tried to climb a tree, and she's not equipped for it, or she may have been flying across the cage chasing a bird or a squirrel like she frequently does. She may have reached out the wire and hit at a hard angle. Just no way to know what she did. Nobody saw it. Tracy asked how will her recovery go with regarding to learn to apply pressure and walking, etc.
They usually do great. I mean, rather quickly do they start to just use it, which scares me, but
Yeah, you don't want them using it. You want them to
You
just
want
lay
them
there
to,
and
but
be
you
still.
don't. Yeah. I mean, in human medicine, you break your leg and they're like, okay, stay in a bed for 8 weeks. Don't walk around. These guys, after like 2 weeks, are like, I feel great. I'm gonna jump.
Like Mr. Claus, what was that? The day after
That was the
he
day
trying to get out of his cage, like
Crawling on the
I'm
ceiling.
fixed, I'm ready to go.
Oh, I got low battery. Well, the good thing is you're almost done.
They may want to see the x-rays. I don't know if you want to...
Are you going to do external sutures?
I'm doing external 3, sort.
Sort of, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
No.
grab my charger and turn off the stable cam. Woo! Hope I don't lose you guys. I'm gonna turn off the stable cam. Well, I already did. No, I didn't. But I will. And then I'm gonna plug in the charger, and hopefully we will stay connected, and you guys will be able to see him go into X-ray. Sorry for all around here. I gotta find a place with a socket that isn't used. I spy a socket. Okay. Yes, I had to go plug it into a wall so that it's charging, but I don't know if that's just enough charge to keep the camera going, or if it's going to give us enough charge that I can then chase them into X-ray and see the X-ray. All he's doing right now is sewing up her leg. Yes, Diane McCartney is right. We are at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, and that's why you hear all of the dogs barking in the background. This is why we are so thrilled to have our own clinic at Big Cat Rescue, so that we don't have all that racket, but we don't have all of the tools. Like Justin was saying earlier, you're looking at about $15,000 worth of plates and screws and drills and such that is necessary for that type of a fracture, and we hardly ever see fractures except when a bobcat gets hit by a car. Brittany, my favorite big cat breed are bobcats, and the reason is because they are just so tough. They are so resilient. I don't know if you heard Jamie in there talking about Mr. Claus, but he had a bad fracture. And unfortunately, he came to us from another rehabber who had let that fracture just sit like that for weeks. And so as soon as we got him in, Dr. Justin did the repair on that leg. And the very next day, the cat is like climbing upside down in his cage and just being a maniac and jumping and thrashing around in the little tiny recovery cage like Nala will be in. So thankfully he wasn't able to do any more damage to his leg, but they're so tough and they recover so quickly, and I think that's a great, it speaks to me about how we should be. We should be resilient, we should always bounce back, we should be tough and strong and fierce and always stand up for what we believe in. So I think that's why I like the bobcats the best. All of those tools are owned by the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, and they are our partner in the foster kitten program. They rescue kittens who have been turned into animal services, people that just dump their cats. and then they send them to us and to other foster families, and we take care of them until they're old enough to get fixed and adopted. Phaedra, he's got to finish sewing her leg up, and he puts in like 2 or 3 layers of stitches, but it looked like he was on the outside layer before my battery started dying. I'm really sorry about this barking. The dogs can't see me. I don't know what they're barking at. Leslie Schultz, Gail said you sent her a bracelet, and she just wanted me to give you a shout out because she was so touched by your generosity. Thank you for doing that. I know you guys are just absolutely awesome. We were in our own clinic the other day and our printer died, and Jamie put it out on our wish list that we needed a printer, and 4 days later there was the printer we asked for waiting for us, and so we really appreciate when you guys help us out that way. You're right, Christine. Sometimes I play these back because we put them on Roku so you can watch them on television. If any of you guys have Roku, just look for Big Cat Rescue. It's a free channel. And all of our videos end up on Roku. But sometimes when I'm playing them back and I'm at the vet's office, my cat's like, "Where's that dog? I heard a dog." You know what I think I'm going to do, since you don't have any kind of view from back here, is I'm going to shut this down and maybe try to start it back up when we go into X-ray. Julia, the wish list is at Amazon.com. If you go to smile.amazon.com, pick Big Cat Rescue, and then look for Big Cat Rescue's wish list, and you'll find everything there. Or, if it's easier to remember, go to bigcatrescue.org/wish list. Thank you.